I thought I'd shoot this video from this angle so you can see the disaster that is my shop. Because I built the little storage cabinet, I had to move a whole bunch of stuff out, and so it all got put onto my workbench. It's the magic of angles in shooting video that you didn't see all of that. First of all, I wanted to welcome anybody who might be new to Mere Minutes because I mentioned it in yesterday's video. I always kind of forget to mention Mere Minutes, so I'm not sure if a lot of people are really aware that I do these vlog entries. Question and comments. A couple of people mentioned rounding off the corners of the top of the cabinet so that it won't be all pokey, hit you in the hips, and it's a good idea. In fact, if I had done that initially, I could have put that edge banding all the way around it in one swoop. Is it melamine or melamine? I'm always confused on that. If I cut it on my table saw, I get a pretty clean cut, but if I cut it using a jigsaw or circular saw, it kind of rips up. I'm not sure how I would round those corners. Well, I guess with better tools. Everybody wanted to know why I didn't paint it or finish it since it's a painting or finishing cabinet. I was actually gonna paint it purple, but I didn't have enough of my purple paint left over. And I just ran out of time. I got the video out yesterday kind of late, and I was just running late all week for some reason. I'm not sure why. Oh, extra storage on it. That's a great idea. Somebody mentioned, maybe a couple of people mentioned putting some pegboards on the sides of the cabinet, and you could store paintbrushes and that sort of things. That's a great idea. I may do that. I'm not sure if I'll go with pegboard, but I may put some hooks on there to store things. Well, why do I use dados so much in my projects like this? You know, you could use like a Craig jig if you wanted to use there I go again. See, it's that universal symbol I use. My Craig jig. But you could use pocket holes. I should do like that, the drill, right? You could use pocket holes to assemble it, but I actually find using dados, cutting dados and grooves to be a fairly simple system as long as you cut them, you know, accurately and all at once, because then when you put the project together, it's just kind of like putting a model together or something. It just slaps right together. And I think that having the dados and grooves keeps everything aligned nice and square also. Like any project, there's always a lot of different ways you can do it, and especially the joinery. Oh, a couple of mentions from people who said I should probably cut some holes in the sides to let the fumes out. So I guess if fumes build up, they have a place to go. Did you notice yesterday was my first video in 1080p high def? Since I got my new camera, I've had the ability to shoot 1080p, but my old computer wasn't able to process it. But I gotta tell you, with that new computer, I've got 32 gigs of RAM, I've got the 64-bit operating system and the 64-bit version of Sony Movie Studio, and it rips through those files. The 1080p render time for a 4.5 minute video, it was like this. About that fast. If you haven't checked out the video responses to last week's video, the wall map, check them out on that video on YouTube. There's a section of video responses, and when you go to my video, you'll see like 2 video responses. You may think that's it, but YouTube should make this a little clearer, that you click on the link that says video responses, and then it'll open up a page with all of the video responses. And there's some really great ones in there, that maps that people have made. Don't forget, on Tuesday, the Inspiration Project on my website. Somebody I'm probably going to be introducing you to this week, and then next week will be somebody that you probably already know, but I think you'll like both of them. So we're trying to buy a car for my son. I want him to have a car before he goes back to school, so I don't have to keep hauling his butt around. But we're gonna go look at a car this afternoon, a PT Cruiser. It looks good to me. It's like almost 10 years old, but it's got 34,000 miles on it. 10-year-old car. It's a little old lady, literally owned it. We did the whole going to car dealers shopping and a little bit, and it's the most miserable experience ever. I would rather go to a dentist and have a root canal than have to deal with used car dealers. And it's not the typical used car dealers. We went to a couple dealerships that just sell used cars, and they were kind of cool actually, but it's the major dealerships who are selling some used cars, you know, where they're trade-ins. Oh my God, I get just such a creepy feeling being around those guys, and so I just have to leave. People always ask me about my truck when they see my truck in my videos, and yeah, it's a 76 Ford. Ford F-150. My dad bought the truck new. I remember when he bought it, I was 10 years old and it was all shiny then. Now it's kind of clunky, but there's only 125,000 miles on it. That's not too bad for a nearly 40-year-old truck. Well, I guess that's about all the updates I have for now. I gotta see what I can do about cleaning up this shop. See you later.